at that point, you're not there to play it safe. Like, if you're not taking risks, you're not competing.
It's empowering, you know? I mean, anybody who's done a CrossFit workout, you finish a CrossFit workout, and you're like, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like a hunger for competition and like that super intense structure, routine. I still had that desire.
Listen to the way people feel and the motivations for doing the things that they did. It was like they were describing me to a T.
I'm not trying to solve everything for you, but I know that sometimes you just need somebody to listen.
Learned the most is how to fill my cup by filling others.
Welcome to the Hungry Dog Barbell Podcast. Join me as I talk with passionate people about their life's failures and successes, and most importantly, what keeps them hungry for more.
The MRI came in and they said, we don't even have to do a spinal tap. It's very clear what this is, and it's MS.
All right, dude, let's just dive right into this. Like, so it's meet week, right? We're preparing. Like, how do you prepare physically and mentally for an Olympic weightlifting meet?
I am doing my absolute best to catch up on my sleep, to eat all the food I have to eat. I don't have to worry about weighing in, really. So I'm not missing a meal, eating my carbs, hydrating, because we're going to be outside. It's going to be hot.
So you're behind on your sleep from work, training, and all that stuff. Like, or do you? How much sleep do you normally get?
I get somewhere between 6 to 7 usually during the week. I get up early to train. I'm in the gym like between 5 and 5:30 every day. And I work an office job, so my job is very, very busy, and I'm in the office like 3 days a week, from home twice. But I really can't change my schedule on Slack.
5:30. So what time is your session? Because you just put out the final one like today, right? What time are you going to lift for the meet?
Yeah, I lift at 5, and I'm with the heavier lifters, and I'm excited, nervous, but excited.
At night. How do you feel about that? Like,
when you lift in the morning, right?
You changed me from weighing in at 10 to weighing in at 8.
Yeah.
So I'm in the 10 a.m. session. That's perfect for me. That's like usually when I lift. That's usually when I work out.
Yeah.
So what about for you? How's that 12-hour difference going to feel for you, from the morning to the night?
I'm going to just completely clear it out of my head and tell myself, all right, it's fine. I get to eat all day. I get to rest. I get to, if I want to take a nap during the day, I can. And I'm just going to not think about the fact that I'm training at a different time, or I'm lifting at a different time than I train.
Yeah. So how many people from your gym, are you at Mach 1 still, or are you over at Marble with Joe?
I'm at Marble, but I'm not with, I guess everybody's kind of with Joe. You just train
at Marble, yeah.
But I train with Mike Carroll, is my coach.
How long have you been doing weightlifting? Like, I guess let's get in.
Yeah, it's great there. I love it there. It's such cool people.
Oh yeah. I've never been there. I've never been that far out in Jersey to actually weightlift. But how long have you been doing weightlifting now?
So I started with CrossFit. I got into CrossFit in 22, and that was kind of my introductory into weightlifting. I kind of liked the weightlifting more the entire time I did it, but I started focusing specifically on weightlifting, I want to say a year and a half-ish. Yeah, about a year and a half ago, I stopped doing CrossFit seriously, and I just focused on weightlifting only.
So what was your first Olympic weightlifting meet? Because I met you at Babe's Barbells and stuff like that, but really we got together at...
No, you didn't.
We never did? I thought you did one of those, and I met you there. We just became Instagram friends?
No, we did. So do you want to know my first experience meeting you? That. You were my judge at Phoenix Classic.
Yes, that. There you go.
Yes. And it was the lifting part. I had the clean and jerk.
Oh, yeah.
And for me at the time, I want to say this is 24.
Was it the one that was...
I think that it was like a big PR for me. Was 150.
Was that at the old Asbury? I remember that year, dude.
Yes.
It was so freaking humid inside that gym. Just soaking. I didn't even work out. Like you said, I was a judge. Just soaking wet from the humidity, and it rained straight for the night beforehand. Damn, I didn't even realize that.
I know.
That I judged you there. So
shout out to Sarah Murphy and her dehumidifier.
Hell yeah. I mean, it couldn't work for all those people.
That sucker was working overtime.
Dude, we had it packed out in that gym. That was crazy. I love a vibe like that, packing everybody into a gym that size.
Yeah,
but going with your story, so I was the judge for your lifting event?
It was so cool, and it was nice and loud too. Yeah.
So how did that go? What happened?
Yeah, so you were the judge, and I think I missed the 150 the first time I tried it, and then I forget, you cued me. Bad judge, you cued me. I think that you told me to brace in my dip, and I did, and I made it.
Love a good brace call.
And I was like, woo, big PR.
Hell yeah. So At that time, that was 2 years ago.
I was just rushing through
just
it.
trying to get it done. I mean, like a CrossFitter, right?
Maybe a little more, maybe 3.
Something like
3 years.
3. I can't remember when was. Yeah, because she's been in
something like
she's
that.
been in the new space for 2 years, right? Yeah, because she had 2 babes and barbells at the new place.
Yeah.
So it must have been 23.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know. I can never do math. I can never do math on the podcast, especially with time.
I think it was 23. I think it was 23.
I think so, right? Because she's had 2 babes at the new location.
I can't do math, period, so we're good.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can do it in kilos. That's it.
Yes. Yeah.
I can do it in kilos, but
yeah, same. But only on a woman's bar.
Well, yeah, don't ask you to do that. That's why I can never load for the women's session. So that was before you got into weightlifting, right? When was your first Olympic weightlifting meet?
It was before that. I dabbled a little bit in it, but I didn't really commit myself seriously. I think that my first meet was it might have actually been the January before we met. It was over at Salus. They had I think it was their yoked competition.
Nice. How did that go?
Yeah. It was such a good introduction. I think that the best part was that I missed my last clean and jerk. And because I missed that last clean and jerk, I was like, I'm doing this again and I need to do this again soon and I'm going to make it. I think it was like a 64 kilogram clean and jerk. And I was like, I'm making it next time. And it was, it just fueled me. I loved it.
How did the lifts that you hit at the meet, the other 5 lifts, compare to like your all-time best at the time? Did you like PR on the platform? Did you just hit your 100%? Like, how did that go?
For the snatch, I was more conservative. I had like my snatch was like what started better for me in weightlifting. I was a little bit better at that than I was clean and jerk. But I was still not very confident to the point of like, all right, this is my first competition. I'm going to hit my numbers. I definitely was lighter. I don't remember exactly what I hit in the snatch, but I think it might have been like 50, 52. But it wasn't quite where I was. And then the clean and jerk, I think that we were conservative at first. I think the 64 would have been a PR, but it was a press. So it was a CrossFit meet.
Press.
But it was not a weightlifting
Wait, so you
meet.
went 6 for 6?
I know, damn
outside
press.
of the press. If they had given you that, it would have been 6 for 6. I hate that at a local meet. Just give it to the person.
I know. And it was like one of like these,
that's so annoying.
Like a silly one.
That's so annoying. So how did you get, before we continue with weightlifting, how did you get into CrossFit? Did you get into it to become like competitive because you were looking for like a competitive outlet? Did you get into it for exercise? Like, tell me a bit about that.
So growing up, I rode horses and I was competitive. I used to do show jumping. I used to travel across the country pretty much for it. And I quit that before I went to college, but I've always had a very competitive mindset. I like the idea of competition. I really like the idea of fair competition too. I started watching some like CrossFit games, like the old documentaries. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is so cool. And I was doing HIIT at the time at like a local gym. And I was like, I think I could do CrossFit. Like, I think I could get into this. And I did. And once I did it, I was hooked right away. Like, I loved it right off the bat. The weightlifting was my favorite part. Gymnastics came a little bit slower, but I loved it. It's funny because I started over at Marble, but then I got a couple of my friends joined another gym in the area and I followed them over there and now I'm back.
I love when that happens. But did you get into it to like fulfill your competitive outlet from before? Like, did you want to do CrossFit competitions?
Like when I saw the games, I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to do something similar. I didn't know that there were, competitions that weren't the CrossFit games. But the idea of even striving towards something, I knew about the Open from like looking up CrossFit. And I was like, oh, this is cool. They at least do something. So I liked that there was that competition. And when you join the gym and you are in a CrossFit gym, it's fun because like people will like, especially I find the older gentlemen will like try to egg you on in a workout and they'll try to get you going and they're like, hey, like I beat you, or like, hey, you could have gone faster. And it really makes you better, honestly.
Yeah, gyms always have that OG gas up guy, right? Who's like ready and willing to like, all right, I'm going to pipe you up today. Let's get after it. And I love stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So did you have,
me too.
Did you have anxiety around competing in weightlifting when you first got there? Because horseback riding, you're solo, right? So platform, you're solo. Did you have anxiety around being on the platform?
Maybe like a little bit. I think that everybody does, even if you've been weightlifting for a long time, your snatch opener is the most nerve-wracking lift that you're going to do when you're weightlifting. So no matter what, I feel like the nerves never completely go away. But the fact that I get to compete and do something that I love and whatever happens, like it's cool. Like I could brush the nerves aside and I'm less of a train wreck when it comes to nerves and more excited.
Like we were talking about having a bad training week leading up to the meet. Does that affect you? Because it just becomes routine for me now. Like I routinely hit 10 kilos under like what I hope to snatch for my opener, like leading up. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not going to go well. Like, does that affect you at all? Do you have the similar experience? Like, how's that for you?
Do you have the similar experience? I actually, funny enough, on Wednesday, I missed like a 45 kilogram snatch and my coach just looked at me like, what's going on? And one of my teammates, she was like, oh, it's competition week. This means that you're going to PR the meet. And once you're into it, like, I feel like we can laugh it off, and we could be like, oh, haha, that's fine. Like, I'm going to be fine once, I'm actually on a platform. And the adrenaline kicks in. Everything feels lighter when the adrenaline kicks in.
Literally, that's what I'm just hoping and praying for next week. I'm living by that. Now I'm trying to limit my caffeine leading up to it so that my C4 really hits the spot that morning.
Maybe I need to take a page out of your book there. I need to cut it a little bit.
I was talking with one of my youth athletes about like my caffeine's been going two-hand lately. I do a coffee in the morning and then a C4 like usually when I work out. So man, it's fucking me up.
How do you deal with the bubbles when you work out from the C4?
I try to do it like before I start my warm up. Like, so usually with like a Bang or something else or like a Red Bull, like I could drink it as I'm like on the bike, get my heart rate up. But with the C4, like I even have the freaking this too. That's how down bad I am right now. Even with that one, I need to like mobilize, then warm up and then lift, have a little bit of separation.
Yeah.
But we're doing it. And I'm like, dude, this might be the weakest I've ever been going in a competition, but like we still fuck it, we ball. As Devin would say, fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it. Hell yeah, we do.
So
shout out Devin.
She's actually doing a competition the same day in North Carolina.
She should have came.
Well,
she would have beat my ass, but it would have been fun.
This will be her last time to compete there until like next season. Right, because they have another one in November, but she's away, so she wants to compete with her friends, basically. I'm like, oh, that's so wholesome. I love that. But
that's so wholesome. But come compete with your other friends.
Speaking of Devin, she's got a lot of weightlifting and training icks. What are some of your gym icks? Tell us. Oh, not the hand rub.
I don't like complainers. Especially like if you're in the zone and like I'm there for my teammates. I'm so there for my teammates. If you're having a hard session, like I'm here with you. But I don't like when people complain about programming. I'm like, just do it. There's a reason why you got it,
like,
right?
What kind of complaints? Like it being too hard? They don't believe that it's working? Like what kind? Like both?
It's always, especially like, it's always from what I see, it's something being too hard. And it's like, all right, like you got that specifically because you need it and it's gonna work. Like there's a reason why your coach gave you that. That's one.
Tell us, keep firing.
Another one. I'll fire them off. I don't like getting cues from anybody other than my coach.
Shout out to Judge Taylor.
Cheer me on, please. I love it. No, that's different. I needed that. I was falling apart. You're the reason why I made that lift.
Well, yeah, I do. I feel that. Like I don't really like people screaming like cues at me. I don't really like people like screaming and cheering for me personally. Like people might fry me on this podcast for that.
Yeah.
But I don't really like it. When it's in a competition, it's fine because I black it all out. And it's just background noise. So that's one thing. But like in the gym, I don't, but keep going with the cues.
Yeah. I like when people yell for me though, like hype me up because it helps me. And it also drowns out the internal noise, right. I find. Like, if people are yelling at me, like, go, or like, come on, like, I'm going to do it. What else? Walking in front of me when I'm going to lift. I know that some people are like, oh, like, you're a diva, whatever. It's like, just common courtesy. Yeah. Just common courtesy.
On the walking in front of thing, it's just like case by case dependent. Like, my old coach, my first weightlifting coach, used to always say, like, you can walk in front of me, but I'm taking heavy attempts a lot. So, like, I could miss this. And if it falls on you, that's just on you, bro. So If you're,
Yeah.
I don't like. Okay, you know what I don't like? I don't like when you could walk in front of me. Don't pretend like it's your first day on earth when you walk in front of me. Don't like stop like 5 degrees out of my line of view.
Keep going. Don't
and then like salsa dance in place, like walk back and forth. You know how they do that thing? Don't salsa dance in front of me when I'm trying to take a lift.
or make eye contact.
Yes, those two things. Don't salsa dance and don't make eye contact. I feel like that should be just like common sense, you know? So yes, walk by, but just walk by like a regular person.
It should be.
You know, that's a good, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Keep going. How many you got? Can you get to 5?
Yeah, probably. It might take me a minute. What else? This is also like a diva move. I don't like, you know, everyone has their barbell that they like that does not belong to them. I love it. I love my barbell, but it's like, it is not mine to claim ever. But I'm like, if I walk in and somebody else has it, I'm like, I can't say anything. I just got to grab another one, but my session's going to suck.
I don't.
That one's more silly. That's actually diva.
I love the drama over the spots, like barbells, spots on the pull-up bar, spots on the gym floor that people have. Like, I own a gym and I don't care what barbell or spot that could be a different perspective because I'm the gym owner, but like, I don't care. Go wherever, you know, like I remember asking me if I had a special barbell that I want to use. And I was like, nah, grab me whatever. But there is one that I normally use for if I lift alone, but if I'm lifting with people, I'll give it up to them. Like, I don't really care, you know?
Yeah, that's a gym owner thing. And that's what I did as a coach when I used to coach. It's like, even if I was taking the class, and of course, I never worked out in a class that I was coaching. But if I was working out in a class and I was a coach at that gym, I would, by default, I would take, you know, the pull-up bar that's less desirable. If there's like a bike that is like a little bit weird and rocky, like I would take that one. But I think that when you're a member, you get to be a little bit of a rat.
For sure. I mean, yeah, you're paying for that, right? Like it's usually good-natured fun, you know, with all those things. My question for you, how do you feel about people lifting barefoot in the gym?
My question is like, why? You know, like if you're doing it because you can't stay, like you're trying to find stability in your feet when you squat, fine. You know, like fine, like do whatever you got to do. But like when I used to coach, there used to be a gentleman that used to literally work out barefoot, like do a CrossFit WOD barefoot. He would even go outside for a run on pavement. He would slip like his feet into flip-flops to go for the run, but like no stability, but he was a great athlete. Like you can't even say anything about it, but like I got nervous lifting near him.
I'm going to say this, and again, they can fry me if they need to. It's performative. Like I'm standing on that hill. That's my gym ick. Put shoes on, bro. Like if I have to, I'll deal with the toe people that wear the shoes that are like formed to their toes. If I have to deal with them, I'll deal with them. But put something on your feet, dude. That's my gym ick.
Wait, Taylor, is this a target towards me? Because I posted a video of myself hands down walking the other day in socks.
It's not. No. So I mean, if you're messing around after, before, during your training, if you're working with weights, put shoes on. That's what I have to say. That's pretty much my stance.
And there's shoes designed specifically for it.
If you're working with weights, then put shoes on. You know, no, not adding you at all for your handstand walk.
I was like, damn, you saw the video and he hates me. Got it. Anyway.
So let's get into some real stuff, some deep stuff. So I remember us talking after AO2, you're trying to get back into training and you're like, something's off. A lot of people have been there before, and it's a hard thing to experience, not even just as a weightlifter, as a high performing person, right? In any field, anything that you do. Like, I'm still doing what I'm doing, but something feels off. Take me like through, I guess, what your first thoughts are.
So basically what had happened was I was lifting, and for some reason I kept on like missing snatches. And when I missed them, I felt like my right elbow was just soft and I couldn't do this. I just couldn't get it to lock out. I thought like, oh, that's a little weird. Like that's definitely not something that's normal, but I kind of just kept going, you know, reduced the weight that I was using and just kept on proceeding as normal. Because as you mentioned, like things come up. It started to get worse to the point where I couldn't open my hand completely. My right hand, I was stuck here. No matter what I would do, I couldn't get it to straighten.
During lifting?
I've had just in general, like me sitting here, I couldn't do this. I couldn't, when I was at work and I would type on my computer, I was like doing the one finger type because I couldn't get my fingers to work. And that's when I kind of realized that something was up. I couldn't really figure out what it was. I'd had something similar happen to me a few years prior, actually. And when that happened, I was like, oh, it's a pinched nerve. Went to a chiropractor, got adjusted. Eventually, I started to feel better. This time, I went to my massage therapist, who I love and I trust very, very much. Shout out Ray, muscle recovery mechanic. And he cupped me and he said, like, hey, like, you know, you're definitely very tense. I don't know exactly what's going on. I'd suggest sauna. Your body's very tense. Like, let's get some of that tension out. I ended up going to the sauna and I stood up to leave and I realized that my legs weren't working the right way. I kind of stumbled out of there and I came to the conclusion that this must be something that's a little bit more severe than I thought. And I didn't want to like take it to any dramatic effects just because healthcare in America is very expensive. But both my dad and my now fiance were like, hey, you should go to the ER and you should just get checked out. So I ended up going into work that morning and going to my manager, or it's one of my managers, and saying like, hey, like there's something going on. I think I need to go get this looked at. And she was like, go do what you have to do. So I went right to Riverview and I didn't think anything was up. You know, you're in the ER. There's some scary things happening around you. People are in pain, but they're telling me we have to hold you overnight because we need to do an MRI. And I was just like, why? Like, I'm not in any pain. Yeah, like my hands aren't working very well. And I feel like weird on my feet. I had like a little bit of a drop foot issue where if I was walking or running, I felt like one of my legs wasn't working the right way, almost like I couldn't coordinate it. But I didn't think I belonged there. And, you know, everyone convinced me, both my dad and Josh, they were like, no, you need to stay there. You need to do what they tell you to. They started with an MRI of my brain. And they ended up coming in and telling me that they had some findings that they needed to explore further. Didn't really explain much else, but they ended up doing an MRI of my spine. And before the MRI came back, they were like, hey, like we might have to do a spinal tap on you. Not 100% sure. We'll find out soon. The MRI came in and they said, we don't even have to do a spinal tap. It's very clear what this is and it's MS. And, you know, that is what it is. Do you have any family history of it? Whatever else. My great aunt, my grandfather's sister, she was in a wheelchair for having MS. And of course, medication's a lot better now, luckily. And coming into it with a strong body was definitely a good thing. And having the medication available is also great. But yeah, that's what happened after I went to the hospital and got diagnosed with MS.
So when they say that they think they may need to do a spinal tap, like when you're in that phase of things, right? You've already got the MRI and you're like kind of in a waiting space. Like, what's your anxiety and panic level like at this point? Like, how are you mentally feeling?
I'm a very high-strung person, and really the only way to get myself out of that is distraction. So I'm literally sitting in the hospital bed making work calls because I'm just like, I don't want to focus on what I think is happening right now. I'm going to focus on things that are like in my control and can distract me, and I'll deal with everything else after. So I distracted and I avoided as I do. But I was nervous to like know what was going on. I know that there were a lot of what ifs. And when I ended up going to a specialist afterwards, one of my big what ifs was like, what if this doesn't get better? Like, am I going to get better? Because at that point, half of my body isn't coordinating the right way. And I am basically lost all of my strength. I was like squatting 55 kilograms in the gym and struggling. Yeah. And it makes you panic.
So how did you, I want to go to like a next step from there, but how did you learn to confront it so that you can even start to recover or get stronger and keep moving forward? Like, how did you like confront those emotions, let them out and face them?
So this is going to sound so mushy. My fiance was the biggest help. I think a lot about theoreticals when I get panicky and I don't focus on what's in my control. And he kind of brought me back and was like, hey, like realistically, we don't know if you're going to get your strength back. We know that bodies are incredible. Your nerves are going to rewire and your body's going to figure out how to function with the damage that was done to your nerves. It's just a matter of you kind of putting your head down and getting to work and not getting too caught up in the emotions of it. And meanwhile, like, I know this looking back, like, Josh is panicking the whole time. I know that he had like a call with his friends when he was coming back from the hospital after I got diagnosed with the MS. And he was like, I don't know what to tell her. I don't know how to, like, this is crazy. I'm nervous. I don't know what's going to happen if she doesn't get better, because he knows that I'm going to go nuts if I don't. But yeah, he definitely brought me back to earth, even though he was panicking on his own. He was kind of like my safe place to go to and get all the anxiety out and be told like something realistic. Like, yeah, we don't know, but there are some things in our control.
That's awesome. So now they give you the diagnosis, you go over your family history. What's like the next steps? Like, what do they give you as far as like, all right, this is how we're going to get stronger. This is how we're going to stave it off. Like, what's the first part of your plan?
So first part is the doctor at the hospital, he gave me a steroid, and I was on like an IV at home for I think 2 or 3 days. And then I had to pull it out myself afterwards. But I was on like an IV steroid for a few days. And then after that, I had to go to a specialist to actually get the prescription that I'm on now. I started at one that was a little bit more local. I know you and I talked about this a little bit. That doctor, he was great. Like, of course, he's knowledgeable in his field, but I don't think that he worked with a lot of people like us who are like athletic in some kind of capacity and care about doing these things. He told me, like, don't even bother with the lifting. All that matters right now is us getting this medication in you. Don't get yourself hurt. So then I very quickly changed doctors, because I was like, I don't need somebody to tell me what I want to hear, but I also need somebody to hear me and care about the things that I care about. So I came over to your neck of the woods. I went to Philly. I know you're near King of Prussia, but I went to Philly. I went to UPenn, and my doctor over there, Dr. Schindler, he is magic. He was like, he basically told me all of the things that we've been taught, where he's like, the fact that you have been active and you are strong makes you so much better off. And he was like, I don't know if you're going to get your strength back. I don't know what the outlook is going to be, but all I know is that you lifting and you working out and doing what you love puts you in the best spot possible.
So what was the break period of diagnosis to be back in the gym? How long did you go without any kind of training?
I went back a lot quicker than I should have. I went back before I went to that first doctor.
Before you went to the first one?
Because we know who told me not to.
That's so funny.
So when he told me not to, I was like,
so like,
shit.
What was that timeline?
Oops. But I came home from the hospital and I might have gone back to the gym a week later.
I mean, that's not ridiculous. I would have done the same thing. So, I'm obviously not going to max my snatch when I first go back, but I'm going back to the gym.
I mean, I didn't max a single thing.
So I wanted to ask specifically, what was your energy level like in that week time period where you went from like lots of movement, like working out, all that, to like being hospital bed bound? So you come out, like, what's your energy level like?
It was nothing, but I had to, I can kind of go robot mode and kind of turn off the brain and just get through the workout, get through the reps, get through the day in life and deal with the emotions later. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't high energy. I wasn't fun. I wasn't smiley. I wasn't like bubbly and like talking to people. I was like very much head down, embarrassed by the weight that I was putting up, and just kind of stuck to myself, unfortunately.
That sucks. So when you come back into training, I guess before I even ask this, like for people that don't know, like what exactly is MS and what do people that are diagnosed with it like commonly experience?
It's very different for a lot of people, and that's what I've learned recently. I know that for me, a lot of what happens when I have any sort of flare up of symptoms, I'll get tingles down my arm. I'll feel a little bit weak in the arm. If I sometimes I'll dabble in a little bit of CrossFit right now. If I go too hard in a workout, sometimes I'll still get a little bit of that leg drag. I get bad brain fog. I'm exhausted. But from my diagnosis, it seems like I've had this for a very long time and I wasn't aware of it. So I don't know what is normal human experience versus what is MS experience. I know from kind of like once I got the diagnosis, I found myself in a little bit of a rabbit hole looking for other athletes that suffered with the same thing. And I found an athlete, her name is Samantha Love. She is a weightlifter. She does a lot for the adaptive community within weightlifting. She's excellent. She's so lovely. What she's experiencing right now is that she's losing her vision. That's another way that MS can affect you. The lesions, basically MS is your immune system is attacking your nervous system, and it's attacking the myelin sheath around your nerves, whether that be in your brain or on your spine. I'm just assuming, I'm not a doctor, probably Samantha's version of it is probably near, I guess, maybe her optic nerve or something along those lines, and that's why it's impacting her there. A lot of what impacts me, I do have a lot in my brain. I don't quite know what I would be like without it, but what led to my diagnosis was the ones on my spine, and that's why a lot of what I'm experiencing is more bodily than it is, my vision or whatever else could be affected.
So I mean, simply put, right? Like there's two ways it could affect you, which are both like what we generally think of as the human experience, either your ability to like think things and react to things, or literally your body's ability to move around, So like when you guys are listening out there, like think about that. Like that's what encompasses weightlifting, like you need fast reactions and you need your body to move when you want it to move. So coming back into the sport, which is by nature lifting heavy things and doing it with confidence, what's it like for you trying to push to get stronger and do these like high neurological tasking lifts? What's it like coming back and lifting heavy again?
My coach has been like the most incredible person in my healing and in getting my confidence back when it comes to weightlifting and getting my body to react the way that it needs to. A lot of what he has done when he first started working with me, we worked a lot on the basics initially, leading up to our first competition together. And then after that, we started kind of putting our foot on the gas a little bit. And it was work up to a heavy double, work up to a heavy triple, and it's week after week of this. And you kind of get your confidence back while also my body, like as I get more exhausted, like everyone when they get exhausted, their output changes. My body, when it gets exhausted, sometimes things don't fire the right way. And it's like learning myself and knowing that even when I'm tired, I'm still capable of making the lift. Things, sometimes it might be a little bit off just naturally. Nobody makes every lift that they make. But we worked a lot on confidence, and we worked a lot on what happens when things start to break down and where do we need to focus on our accessories, like what needs to get strengthened up so that once this starts breaking down, it doesn't throw the entire lift off. Like my posterior chain is awful. So we do a lot of posterior chain work.
Do you have things that you say to yourself, like cues or mantras, like when you're in the high percentage lifts, and how has that changed? Like, I guess before and up till now.
I think that my cues that I kind of repeat to myself are an echo of my coach. And that's maybe why they've changed now as opposed to before. If I go up to a bar, I'm telling myself chest up and balance in my feet. And that's pretty much all we've been working on, because I think that every single time I miss a snatch, it's because my hips will rise a little bit too fast in comparison to my chest. And that, I think that that's purely just a weightlifting thing, not really even an MS thing. But we work a lot on mindset too. When I start to get a little bit nervous about a lift, my coach asks me like, okay, you made this. What helped you make it? What did you think to yourself? I'll think to myself like, you've got it. I know how to bail out of something. I'm not going to die. I'm going to be okay. So we work on a lot of like both the mental as well as the physical in order to kind of get me to the place I need to be.
I love that. Repeating like scenarios in which you were successful and which made you feel like successful, like trying to hone in on that. So I'm trying to preach to all my lifters right now. Do you remember, like, since you just said that you were doing a lot of weeks of like built to heavy doubles and stuff like that, do you remember like a time post-diagnosis where you're back in the gym and you're working to a heavy where you miss, and like how that felt, because like I know post-injury for me, like coming back, like the first time I got up to a heavy again and I missed it, it made me feel a lot better. It's like, all right, I didn't die. I just proved that to myself. Now I can kind of move on. Did you ever have a session like that?
So when I was first working my way back up, I want to say this was probably December. When I first got diagnosed and my strength went away, I was like, you know what? If I came back and I don't want to say all I can do, because for a lot of people, this is probably like this, these are my goals. If I can hit a 55 snatch and a 70 clean and jerk, I'll be happy. I'll be content. I'll at least not feel like I can't do anything anymore. So the first time I came back in and I tried to snatch 55, I missed the first time. And it was one of those, I missed behind. So I was like, okay, clearly I've got this. I just need to get my shit together and not let the bar get away from me. I just need to do it. I came back and I did it and I cried. And 55, it's not a PR for me, but it was like one of those numbers of like, I would like to see blue plates on the bar. And if I can see blue plates on the bar again, I'll be happy and I'll be content. And anything after that is a bonus.
Yeah. So what was it when you then hit it? What did it feel like after that? You're like, okay, I might be back a little bit.
I yelled like a clown. It was me and Bobby, who's over at Mach 1. He was in the gym. He was squatting at the time. He's a power lifter, very, very strong. And I missed it. And Bobby was like, you've got this. And I was like, I know I've got this. I'm going to do it again. And I took a couple minutes. I sat back and Bobby cheered me on. And like I bar slammed it after like 55. I'm so happy. I'm going to slam it on the ground. And I gave him the biggest hug and I cried.
I love that. Oh, wait.
Bobby, the same guy that he saw me struggle to squat it a couple weeks prior, and I cried because he was like, oh, like what's going on? And I was like, Bobby, I'm weak, and I'm like crying on him. And then I come in and I snatch it and I'm so excited.
Yeah, I love that. I was going to ask you, is crying belong in weightlifting? I feel like that you answered the question big time.
Crying belongs in weightlifting. Absolutely.
All right, so
yeah, especially happy cry.
Happy cry.
I happy cry all the time.
Hell yeah. So
I'm a happy
meets
crier.
Next weekend. Now, what numbers are you hoping to put on the bar? Hand rub.
I know that we had a little bit of a goal. I don't think that we're going to hit our goal exactly in the snatch. I would like to get over 60 in the snatch. That would be fun. I've always missed 60 on the platform. I've made it at home. So I'd like to get 60 plus. I'd like to have at least like 2 attempts there. And clean and jerk, I would really love to put 80 over my head.
Okay.
That would be a very good
Hell
time. Yeah, I cleaned it the other day and I missed the jerk, but it was one of those where you stood it up and you were like, this could go over my head. So I'm hoping to get another bite at that.
I almost never think that after I clean up.
You and I are kind of similar though. We're both strong cleaners, not as strong at the jerk.
What's terrible is that I used to be much better at jerks. I used to never miss a jerk. And then I just started missing more clean. So you take less jerk attempts when you do that, you know? But I think things are going to come together. I'm going to lock in.
You can't jerk it if you don't clean it. That's why I'm not allowed to train jerks on their own.
Exactly. I'm going to lock in. I'm going to try to get great recovery over the next week, fuel up well. And I think I'll be ready to go. I think the hype of the crowd, even though I have to pay to get my girlfriend and spectate, will be lit. You know, I think it'll be a good time. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to do it. I think it'll be fun.
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. You're lifting in the first session, right?
Yeah, I'm lifting in the masters and youth men first session.
So you're going to have to keep an eye out on my little friend. His name is Kevin Hall. He's 15.
Is he the 15-year-old?
When I tell you he's 15, when I tell you that this kid, like he's incredible, like gonna really go places. And I don't just say that, like I see this kid lift and I'm like, holy crap, that might be an Olympian one day.
Yeah, I'm excited to have some fun with him then. It'll be a great time.
Yeah.
But Christie, this is great. Thanks for coming on. It's been a great episode. Great talking with you about weightlifting. You have anything else you want to share with the people?
I want to share with the people that don't give up. Like if you have a hardship, if you like this sport, just fucking keep going. Who cares if you're not as good as you could have been? Who cares if you have to take a couple steps back before you go back forward again? Like, why put in the work if you're not going to eventually cash out on it? So why give up? Don't let anything make you stop.
Hell yeah. I love that, dude. Needed that message right now.
Hell yeah.
I almost gave up on weightlifting earlier today.
I've got you for all the pre-meet. I've got you for all the pre-meet motivation.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You texted me that your session went terribly. I was like, looks like you're going to PR.
Yeah, I I don't know. I didn't sleep great last night, even though it's one of those things that I was trying to force myself to sleep great, so I didn't. But I'm just gonna chill and have a great week. I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. But dogs, it's been a great conversation with Christie.
Yeah.
We're getting out of here now. Peace. Stop.